The Harley Davidson Road Glide has forever been viewed as one of the most incredible American tourers out there. Since the time its beginning back in 1998, the Road Glide has been a #1 among the purchasers because of its torque V-twin engine that could do the roadway speed limit the entire day without the slightest hesitation. The remarkably agreeable seats and extravagant ride quality were likewise a portion of different advantages. But the appearance of the 2022 Harley Davidson Road Glide, which is sent off for a base MSRP of $22,249, Harley Davidson is back with the incredible cruiser to rival the Indian Challenger Dark Horse, which is its greatest opponent of the portion. Presented in 3 tones and accompanying a considerable rundown of fancy odds and ends as standard, the 2022 Harley Davidson Road Glide is a contribution that is difficult to stand up to. The following are 10 things each cruiser devotee ought to be aware of the 2022 Harley Davidson Road Glide. Like the 2021 model year of the Road Glide, this 2022 moniker accompanies the Milwaukee 8114 V-twin engine, which is a single-cam pushrod motor with 4 valves for each cylinder. This engine offers around 76.1 horsepower and 118 pounds-foot of torque and accompanies a compression ratio of 10.51, making it an extremely unstressed engine ideal for cruising. The fundamental feature of this engine must be the sweet flood of force at the low and mid-range RPMs, and this assists the rider with achieving the speed at the most elevated gear and an extremely low RPM. The engine sounds unbelievable with a stock exhaust and feels tolerably refined as well. Be that as it may, the top-end execution is fair and the vibrations are very high. The 6-speed cruise drive manual transmission that accompanies the 2022 Harley Davidson Road Glide isn't the most complex or refined transmission in the portion. In correlation, the Indian Challenger Dark Horse had a lot of smoother gear shifts, offering no bogus neutrals and inconvenient commotion. While changing from neutral to Gear 1, the 2022 Road Glide feels exceptionally obsolete and doesn't ooze the extravagance that ought to have been essential for the precarious cost of $22,249. Notwithstanding, the intending is right on target for an American touring bike with long 5th and 6th gears, helping to low commotion and vibration levels. With a control weight of 853 pounds, it is probably the heaviest bagger from Harley Davidson, and that makes it quite challenging to ride and explore through the city traffic conditions. The weight is more focused to the front, and the handlebar gets weighty at slow velocities. The cruiser additionally gets extremely hot in the event that not ridden at a sensible speed. The long wheelbase of 64 isn't great for riding through the roads, and you would constantly have to keep an eye while exploring and parting through the paths. The front end plunge under hard braking is high, and that negatively affects the shoulder and wrist of the rider. Aside from that, the suspension is on the stiffer side. This is what the 2022 Harley Davidson Road Glide is made for, and the bike will intrigue the riders pretty well. The unstressed low compression ratio has fantastic force to ride through the turnpikes with no requirement for a downshift. The wonderful sound of the V-twin combined with low hotness level is a distinct USP as well. The show with 49mm double bowing valve suspension at the front and emulsion shocks with hand flexible preload at the back makes for a great ride on the highway. Since the suspension is tuned to the stiffer side, every one of the abnormalities of the street, notwithstanding the greatest potholes, are consumed well. The bike doesn't get agitated by the crosswinds too. Despite the fact that the 2022 Harley Davidson Road Glide gets a solid suspension framework for the front and back, this cruiser is a long way from a fair dealing with machine. The weighty check weight and the gentle cylindrical edge of the cruiser make it not the most ideal bike of the part for taking corners too eagerly. In correlation, the Indian Challenger Dark Horse offered a more able cornering experience. The bike could incline fairly and could hang tight beautiful well as well. Notwithstanding, the 2022 Road Glide has its footpegs put extremely low, and that would bring about scratching, assuming corners are taken excitedly. The 2022 Road Glide takes forward the equivalent slowing down equipment of the 2021 model and thus sees no progressions in the slowing down execution. The front end accompanies 300mm floating discs and the back gets a single 300mm discs. The two sides get 4-piston calipers and ABS as well. The front brake is everything necessary to moor this cruiser from the interstate speed. A delicate get of the front brake switch uncovers that the underlying nibble is better than expected. In any case, crush it a smidgen more and you would see the magnificent braking movement on offer. The back slowing down execution doesn't have anything to blame as well. The ABS interruption is negligible too. The Reflex Defensive Rider System, RDRS, is presented as a choice with the 2022 Road Glide and ought to be selected in the event that you plan to get the bike. This framework offers numerous rider help and security highlights, for example, cornering ABS, cornering electronically linked braking, drag torque slip control system, vehicle hold control, and tire pressure monitoring system. Presented at an extra cost of $995, this system ensures that the gadgets are there to take care of the rider consistently, and that will prove to be useful particularly while gunning the cruiser around the B streets or the turnpikes. Nonetheless, a portion of these electronic highlights really do jab in pointlessly, causing the bike to feel a piece limited. The street presence presented by the 2022 Harley Davidson Road Glide is close to none. The shark nose front stopping point glide is as yet impressive to check out, and the twin case fog light makes it stand apart from the wide range of various cruisers out and about. The three varieties ranges, vivid black, reef blue, and white sand pearl, feature the plan well indeed. The side and back perspectives on the 2022 Road Glide additionally see no distinction from the active model year. The chrome-wrapped motor and exhaust, flawless Harley Davidson emblazoning on the tank, and the side transporters add to the looks. The LED taillight and pointers, clearing back bumper, and the double exhaust look flawless as well. The Boombox 4.3 infotainment is conveyed forward to this 2022 cycle, and that is something to be thankful for. This sound system offers 25 watts for every channel and gets 2 speakers, making it far better as far as parkway riding experience. The speaker size of 5.25 is sensibly large as well. Through this sound system, the rider could play AM, FM, weather conditions band, SD card, flash drive, and MP3 playback by means of USB association. With the P and an update, 20 Sirius XM presents are available as well. The sound experience ended up being very great, with magnificent bass and mid-recurrence yield. Notwithstanding, the high recurrent sound result isn't really amazing. The 2022 Harley Davidson Road Glide accompanies a gigantic simple speedometer and tachometer, alongside a more modest temperature and fuel measure. The dials are clear, and the simple dials add to the vibe of the scramble. Alongside the simple dials, there is likewise a variety TFT show mounted in the center. The TFT display panel is very enormous and offers all the important data like music, trip data, rider modes, and some more. The neatness is superb, and the point of interaction is respectable for the portion. Numerous other infotainment highlights like Bluetooth, hands-free cell phone network, voice acknowledgement, message to discourse, and so forth are standard as well.